I'm Yossi. I've just submitted my PhD at the University of Sydney and the Australian National University, looking at geometric and topological shape analysis. So looking at how we can summarize and investigate the shape of data to either reconstruct objects or classify objects and identify subpopulations. So it's kind of a, broadly speaking, topological data analysis, but I do a lot of computational geometry and things like that as well. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at mathematically. I heard about matrix years and years and years ago because my parents are also mathematicians and went to a matrix event some number of years ago. So I knew about it already then. And then I knew about it through ANU as well when I started at ANU in 2018. So I don't remember exactly which year I first heard about matrix, but I've known about it for a while. So I co-organize GT Cubed, which is graduate talks on geometry and topology get together with Grace Garden, James Morgan, M. Thompson, and Elena Moskovsky was with us as well at the start. And that was a week-long conference to kind of give an opportunity to everyone that had been involved in GT Squared, which is a fortnightly seminar series held online to get together and do some research. And so Eleanor, Grace, and I started GT Squared in 2020. We continued it in semester 2 and then applied for this symposium week at Matrix. And then because we thought it was fun, called it GT Cubed. I'd been fortunate enough to attend a conference in July 2019 overseas, and knew how valuable it was to be able to meet regularly and talk maths with other PhD students that are kind of at the same stage, but in maybe slightly different areas, and you just learn about other areas and can connect and have this kind of support network of people you can talk to. And with COVID lockdowns and things like that, we weren't able to travel overseas. Nobody was coming to campus, and like we weren't able to travel domestically. And so having the opportunity to start a fortnightly seminar series for graduate students who do geometry and topology to get together and talk and exchange ideas was something that I thought be really valuable. And it was really great to have Matrix and AMSI support us with this, because we learned a lot, and there was we got a broad selection of people joining because we were able to use Matrix and AMSI social media networks and mailing lists and things like that. And then when the call out came for these like week-long symposia to be hosted on site, we thought, well, we've done this 2 semesters in a row. It'd be great. Like, we know all of these people virtually. It'd be great if we could get some people together in the same place and like do some maths for a week. And so we applied for that, and we were fortunate enough to be funded, which was amazing. And like a huge thanks to Matrix and AMSI for that opportunity. I really enjoyed the experience of having a relatively risk-free organization, like organizing a conference. Like the bar was not that high. Like there weren't any international speakers. I didn't have to like find accommodation for everyone. I didn't have to deal with catering. It was just very minimal, but I now know how to organize a conference and what goes into it all and the budgeting and everything like that. And so it was really a great opportunity. And I think that it was a great opportunity for everyone to get together, and I'm glad we could do it. So completely unrelated to the symposium, but I got my job offer on the Tuesday morning. My main supervisor, Kate, was there, and some of my close friends were there. So it was like, you know, that's not a maths memory, but it was really nice to be there and wake up to that email and just be able to immediately tell everyone that kind of was there. Other memorable moments are just walking around and seeing everyone so engrossed in doing these like maths projects and extending their kind of knowledge into areas that maybe they weren't working in, and these like very nice groups formed. And it's been also very nice seeing those groups continue. So I know of at least 2 groups that are still doing research post that symposium. And I think one other highlight was watching Ben Burton do karaoke. as one of our social activities. That was a definite highlight. Really nice to be like out in the Australian countryside and removed from the city and able to just focus on maths and explore Creswick. Like, it's a beautiful area and the accommodation is great. And I really like the way Matrix House is set up, with kind of the central area and everything spans out, and the same with the accommodation. You've got that central common room and then the 3 wings. And it was just really nice to kind of get to know people in such a casual way and then walk to breakfast together and things like that. So I love Matrix Campus and I would love to have an opportunity to go back again. Always. In particular, the support Tom and Joy gave us in terms of doing the budget and figuring out what we kind of needed to organize, and the timeline was just amazing. And to, you know, organize a conference in the last year of my PhD and not have like no other, we were all PhD students organizing it. There weren't any lecturers or senior lecturers or no one else to give us advice aside from Tom and Joy. It was just surreal to then also, anytime we stuffed up. I think it's an opportunity that everyone should take as a PhD student. Even just the opportunity to apply for a conference and figure out how you put together a draft budget and a draft schedule of invited speakers and a draft schedule of activities and who you want to invite and all those things is just an invaluable experience. And it was such a success as well, which is really great. Getting people to RSVP on time was definitely one of the challenges. I think the advice I would give is to have a very clear purpose in mind. That can be having a specific project you want to bring people to work together on, or you want to give people opportunities to create their own projects, but having a very clear aim and then a very clear structure to that aim, but also allowing for flexibility, because as the week progresses, people realize that, you know, we had these kind of projects that people propose and we had people break up into groups to work on the projects. And as the week progressed, some people found that the projects were harder than they thought or easier than they thought, and kind of having the flexibility to allow for some movement, but still having an overarching goal. And so that you have something you can, you know, I hate this kind of measuring success, but being able to go, yes, we successfully brought together, you know, 17 PhD students from across Australia and had research groups formed that are still going, is just like amazing. And Matrix and AMSI have been such great supporters in doing that. And I think it's something that's very worthwhile. I'm moving to Denmark in like 2.5 days. Let's say 60 hours. I'll be like on a plane moving to Denmark to start a job at the University of Aalborg, working with some chemists looking at the nanoporosity of amorphous materials, which is essentially how tunnels form in batteries for charged particles to move through. And so that is my future plan.